Hello everyone. Now we are seeing the valve timing diagram for 4-stroke diesel engine. The aim of this experiment is to draw the valve timing diagram. The operators required to perform this experiment is you need to have a single cylinder cut section of a 4-stroke diesel engine. So in this diagram you can see the different events. So as there are two types of valves here, that is inlet valve and closed exhaust valve. So there are four events: the inlet valve opening and inlet valve closing, and similarly exhaust valve opening and exhaust valve closing. So this opening and closing of valves will be taken care by the rotation of crankshaft. So in rotation of crankshaft means you can notice where the particular angle lies between the opening and closing of valves. So here you can see the terminologies what we are used here. TDC is top dead center, BDC is bottom dead center, where actually the piston travel from top dead center to bottom dead center. FIS is fuel injection starts and FIC is where the fuel injection closes. IVO, IVC, EVO and EVC. So you know how important to know when the valve is opening or closing with respect to the crank angle. So that is nothing but the timing of opening and closing of the valves. So how exactly you can note down the readings of crank angle, that once you check with the experiment you can notice by yourself. And this is the port timing diagram. The port timing diagram is also almost similar to the valve timing diagram, but here we will be using ports, or we will be calling it as port instead of valves. And one more difference you can make it out here is in valves there are two types of valves, that is inlet valve and outlet valve or exhaust valve. Here in ports there are three different types of ports. One is the inlet port and transfer port, and the next one is the exhaust port. The transfer port is used to allow the fresh charge and also to scavenge the exhaust gases. And these ports are used in only two-stroke engines, and you know that it will take one complete revolution of crankshaft to complete the two strokes. Once you measure the angle of crankshaft with respect to opening and closing of ports, after that you can draw the port timing diagram. Hello everyone, this is a single cylinder diesel engine, the cut section of single cylinder diesel engine. Okay, so here the purpose of this experiment is to draw the valve timing diagram. Okay, so you can see here the various components first. So this is going to be the piston, this is going to be the inlet valve, and it is going to be the exhaust valve, where the movement of the piston travels from TDC, that is called as top dead center, to bottom dead center. If you rotate the flywheel, you can make the movement of the piston from top dead center to bottom dead center. The flywheel and piston are connected with the help of the connecting rod and crankshaft. Okay, so from this you need to know what is the various angles of the crankshaft, where you can notice the opening and closing of valves. Okay, so once the valves opens or closes, at that time immediately you should make a note of what is the angle which is marked on the flywheel or the crankshaft. Okay, now you can see the clearance volume. So once we start to rotate the flywheel, now the inlet valve opens slowly as the piston moves from TDC to BDC. You can see, notice the valve opened and closed, and now it is the second stroke, the compression stroke, where piston is moving up, and this is the third stroke where the piston is coming down. And then finally it is going to be the exhaust stroke, where you can notice the exhaust is going out. So this is what the basic principle of the working of the 4-stroke IC engine. Okay. So similarly, you can make a note with respect to the port timing. So this is a 2-stroke engine, where you can see there will be using ports. Okay, this is the one port, and this is going to be the transfer port, and this is going to be the exhaust port. Okay, the inlet, transfer and exhaust ports, where again here you need to make a note with respect to the opening and closing of ports, again with respect to the markings on the flywheel. Okay. So finally, at what time the inlet port opens or what time the exhaust port opens, at that time you should make a note what is the angle in that. And finally, you should using a protractor and a whiteboard, white drawing sheet or whiteboard, where you can mark the angles by using the protractor. You should make a timing diagram. So here it is going to be the port timing diagram, which is called as the port timing diagram with respect to 2-stroke engine, and here it is a 4-stroke engine where the valve timing diagram will be placed.